Hello and welcome to www.Liberians.Let. I'm your host, Brother Moses Bombo Tambasin, and today I happen to be very lucky to have with me my brother Emmanuel Caesar from Philadelphia. So today we just want to discuss as Liberians what is our personal view about Liberians' culture, Liberians recognizing and being proud of who they are and what they are. God has made every human being, and every human being has a tribe or origin or culture. So, Brother Caesar is going to be talking to us what are his some of his personal perspective, some of his personal view, what he thinks, what he sees, about Liberians, and maybe what are some of his recommendations as for all of us as Liberians. So, Mr. Caesar, welcome to www.liberian.net. You are speaking to more than 50,000 Liberians around the world. You're speaking to ambassadors, and you're speaking to Liberians in every country in Liberia. Almost, you're speaking to students and the rest of it. So, I'm happy to have you. Again, you are welcome. So, what is your personal view about Liberians outside Liberia? How do you view them? Are they people you find to be very proud of who we are? What sometimes, what's your personal view? What is it that you view about Liberians? Are we really or people that are very proud of who we are? And are we advocating our culture and our value outside Liberia when we step out?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Moses. Um, Again, my name is Emmanuel Caesar. I'm a friend and brother of Moses. Um, I'm proud to be a Liberian to begin with. And there are two answers to the questions you asked me. One is no, and one is yes. I said no first because most of us tend to drive away from our identity,
Okay,
and we fail to know that our true identity can never hide from ourselves.
that's
It's
right.
like the old people say, the last thing you put into your suitcase before you put a lock on it to travel is your waist.
You record remember too.
And by the time you reach to wherever you are going, no matter how long it takes you to get there, and you go in the room, they give you a place to sleep, and you take that key and you open that lock. As soon as you unzip your suitcase, your waist get out and it jumps right back in you.
That's right.
So if you're black, you're black. We are Africans. We are Liberians. Liberia is a God-blessed country, and God has blessed us for who we are and where we are. But most of us, 9 out of 10, as we leave that country and God brings us to another place, we tend to forget where we come from. Most of us tend to deny who we are. We don't want to be recognized as Liberians because God has also blessed us to get some paper or some other attachments. So we think we are what we are from where we stand, failing to know that we are Liberians and our identity can never
I
go
don't want to
away.
cut you off. Is it just something that you're seeing that you think is happening, or it is something that you can attest to that you have observed that is going on?
Look, it's happening. It's happening because I got a lot of friends. All my friends are all Liberians. They are all Africans. But you see other Africans go back to the country. They're making developments. They can tell you, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. But 9 out of 10, how many Liberians do you see going home? How many Liberians do you sit with in a normal or casual conversation, just joking from one to another thing, and say, my man, look, we got to think about running up our activities and try to get back home and do some work there. How many of
Mm-hmm.
them will give you a
Mm-hmm.
positive answer?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very few.
Mm-hmm.
And even among those very few, if you rescreen them, you will have problem getting all of them out of the basket. Take for example, somebody comes out and say, "Look, you have. I'm going to give you 5 directives. The first directive is all Africans line up on this red carpet, and all Africans, including Liberians, everybody go line up on that red carpet.
Okay.
Not knowing what the directives are, but that was the first one.
Yes.
Then he tells you that the second one, you will walk from here. You will walk about 1 mile up the street,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of that 1 mile, you will see signs of your different identity.
Mm-hmm.
Follow those signs. It's just like you reach an exit and
Mm-hmm.
you go into that exit, you take that exit. You will come to realize that most of your Liberian people that should be taking the exit with you will
Yeah.
be taking
To go to
exit.
Liberia.
Yeah, will be taking exit for other places. And then you'll be wondering, you'll be calling some guys, say, "Oh, my man, this is our exit." And they will see that exit and they'll be telling you, say, "No, that's not my exit." You see, and you'll be left there surprised. You see, because why? People run away from their identity, but identity continue to follow them because a Liberian, once a Liberian, always a Liberian. You're born Liberian. Your parents and everybody are all Liberians.
So am I understanding you to say that when Liberians travel outside Liberia, specifically in America, so to
they
speak,
change.
since we are here, we instead of trying to attach to promote our image, to promote Liberia, to identify ourselves and assure ourselves as true Liberians, we tend to attach ourselves to identity that which we are not.
We are not. And face value, we all talk about Liberia, Liberia, I'm a Liberian, I'm a this, I'm a that. But when it comes to the reality, they don't want to be Liberians. They don't want to be identified Liberian. In fact, one common thing is that people tend to talk like other people. People
Right?
tend to talk
Change
like
the
the people.
accent.
Yeah, people tend to change their way of talking. It's difficult. There's no way a raw Liberian, typical Liberian can talk like a born American. It's not possible. You have hours and months and years of work to change that. So it's difficult. It's harder than even going to the classroom and going to school to change your accent to talk like a
I
white
wonder
man.
if this is the
It's not
reason why
possible.
sometimes like some
See?
Liberians they don't even want to hear about like when they come outside Liberia, they don't want to wear like Liberian shoes, Liberian clothes,
They don't.
Liberian shirt because it's like it's to say, oh mama, thank God I'm out of Liberia.
They
Why you
don't.
want to attach me to that?
They don't.
You know, I mean, they don't want to. They want to dress. They just coat suit and speak like a European or an American, so that it becomes like a lost tribe. Is that something
Yeah, but
that
Moses,
we tend to have a problem
you,
with, brother?
you come from Lofa, you come from the Loma tribe. In this country, you will be surprised that there are Loma people here who tells you that they can't eat up again.
Yes,
They
I
can't eat a home
agree.
for again.
I agree.
There are Liberian people here
Yes,
also who will
they
tell you,
do.
say, my man, I don't eat red oil. You know, the Liberian people here who will tell you, say, I can't eat this. My man, I don't eat chicken food. For going heaven's sake, tell me for going heaven's sake. Isn't that our traditional food? And these things, the things that our parents cook, and we ate so happily, and we grew up and became strengthened by those things until we came to this, until God bless us to come to this country. Now we come here, we begin to sway away from who we are.
Could this be
You
because?
see?
Could this be because? Is it because of the poverty or the low standard of living in Liberia and Liberians wanting to connect themselves to the higher class of living, since in fact other countries have these kind of a high standard of living, like America. You know, if you were lucky, you wish you were born in America to say, I'm an American. You know, you have the clothes, you know, all this beauty. Is it that they are trying to like, they wish they will be part of that wealth system?
I think so. For some of them, they hope, in fact, they were even born as American. But it's unfortunate because they were born as Liberian and African at that rate. But the whole thing here is that the people are trying to hide their identity, and identity cannot be hidden. There's no way you can cover your identity because you are an African. You are an African. If you speak someplace, they will ask you, "Are you an African?" They may not know whether you are Liberian. But you, us as a Liberian, with all of our 17 tribes, if one tribe speaks, if one tribal man comes and speaks to you English, you can identify him by his ethnic group from the way he sounds.
That's right, Mr.
You
Caesar.
see?
Okay, so before we come to the close of our discussion at this moment, what could be some of your recommendations? What, due to your observation, your advice to the Liberian people, both in Liberia and in America, in France, in Europe, in South Africa, in Ghana, what could be your message regarding us as Liberians, our culture, our value for who we are?
The only one thing I can say here is what will tell friends when I meet them is that we need to know who we are. We lost our identity. We lost one simple thing, but it's very important: our values. When you know how valuable you are to where you come from,
where you come from.
then of course you will hold yourself and you will try to rebuild your self esteem. But most of us know where we come from, but we lose track of who we are. We tend to blend in to we tend to
Different
blend into
cultures.
another society.
Yeah.
See, and there's no culture in this place where we are.
There's no end in sight
You
for
see,
us.
they have a very good system here.
Yeah.
They don't have. There's no culture here. Culture here is adopted from all everywhere in the world.
Yes.
Everybody's coming here.
That's what they call a
and mix
melting
up.
point.
You see? Yeah.
They call it
You see,
melting
it's a
point.
multicultural society.
Multicultural
But this is not the case. We can't fit ourselves in. We can fit ourselves in that because we live here. But the thing is that we should not drive away from our identity.
Okay, so you in other words, you are acting Liberians. It doesn't matter whether you come to America or Germany or France or Europe. Don't try to force to change your tone of
Hold your values.
Liberia is a country, is a great country.
Hold your
We
values.
have to love who God has sent us to
Yes.
be, and we are that God has made us to be, and we're supposed to be proud of it so that